Hi and welcome to Hihu, and in this video we'll be looking at Call of Juarez Gunslinger, a game that isn't that old, but it isn't that new either. Released in May of 2013, the game is a fast-paced first-person western shooter. Normally we look at older games and compare them to modern ones. What about the games in between? They still need to be mentioned. Call of Juarez came to my attention when I was making my McCree video. It looked like a really fun series to play and has been around since 2006, so it came on sale one day and I decided to jump right into it. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed this game. The main reason why I really enjoyed this game was the first-person storytelling, which is something that's constantly been developed on as years have gone by. From silent protagonists to fully voiced ones, Gunslinger takes a slightly different approach from its previous titles. The game's story is based on the narration from its protagonist. Bounty hunter Silas Greaves walks into a saloon and sits down with some fellow patrons whilst they share a beer. Silas delves into some well-known stories about the times that he caught villains, which eventually goes into a plot about revenge after his two brothers were murdered after being robbed. The way the story is told was really fun and rather unique in the sense that as a story is told, details may be changed or added, and inside the game world, these details might actually fly in. Where Silas might be surrounded and shot by enemies of a gang, you literally have no way to escape. But then Silas will narrate that he noticed out of the corner of his eye a way to escape, and actual escape will make itself available for the player. This narration was also helped out by modifying the story, where each person around the table would tell the version of the story that they know, and then Silas will actually tell them that they were wrong and go into depth about what actually happened. And you get to play each story as it's told around the table. This type of storytelling from a short, fast-paced western was something I wasn't really expecting. Not that it's deep or metaphysical or anything, it's just mainly banter, but this type of storytelling kept me interested and made the entire experience very enjoyable. The original game from 2007 has you play as two people, where it swapped between the characters, which was a really neat way to tell a story from different perspectives, especially as each person has different motives and opinions. But Gunslinger has more of an arcade feel to its storytelling. The gameplay that goes with the game is very fun. The game works on a very familiar, well-acquainted scoring system that we're all used to from various other shooters. Raking in sweet combos and awesome scores allows you to level up, thus putting skills into these nice yet simple skill trees that the game has. One is for dual wielding, the other is for range, and the other is for close quarters combat. Personally, I spent all my points in long range and I found it much more rewarding to knock people off from far distances. The guns feel really good to use, the combat is fast-paced enough, and the AI is reasonably aggressive. Gunslinger still allows you to use concentration mode, which is kind of similar to Deadeye from Red Dead Redemption. Visually, I love the opaque screen and the red enemies when I use this mode. It was very stylistic. I did notice, however, when I was using this mode, that not all of your shots would stick. Often I would be shooting at someone in this mode and they simply wouldn't die. I wouldn't move my crosshair and straight after the mode has worn out, I would land a shot. Not sure if it's a glitch or the occasional shot when you're using this mode is intentionally not meant to land, but it's just something that I noticed. I also noticed some issues with the AI getting caught in boxes and props, and this allowed for easy takedowns, especially when I was fighting a boss and they got caught on something. It just felt a little bit cheap, but the general level design has a really lovely flow to it. You generally fight wave after wave, furthering the story within that location, and then having this little mini boss battle, or this dual mini game that the game has you play. These were a pretty neat addition to the game, unlike the original game from 2006, which counts down and then you have to quickly draw, then shoot and dodge bullets. Gunslinger has you pay attention to your hand location and eye focus, and it made these segments rather intense and a cool way to tie off one of Silas's stories. The one thing I kind of missed, however, in Gunslinger was the Billy-esque missions. Now, to explain to those who don't know what I'm talking about, in the original game from 2006, it has you play as two characters. One was a more stealthy character who has a bow and arrow, and I found these levels to be some of the most fun aspects of the game. When using the bow, it slowed down time and resulted in ever so satisfying deaths. This addition in Gunslinger was missed, but for the game time that was there, it just felt right. The game goes for around 6 hours, however, extending it with another 2 hours of stealth gameplay would have been welcomed, but under the context of the story, I'm not sure how exactly they would have fitted that in. Graphically, the game is gorgeous, we're using cel shading on objects, and reasonable graphics elsewhere. Stylistically, the game feels like a western, even from the border that's around the screen. Often than not, locations are bland and boring when I've played westerns, but the variety of locations from shantytowns to derelict swamps to giant canyons really open up the player to a welcome change of scene at just the right times. The voice acting is really well done, as it should be. The franchise has come a long way since 2006, as the voice acting there was more to be desired. The sound design is fantastic too. The sound of your bullets ricocheting off surfaces and the chains off your body, as well as your rifle shooting down your foes, just makes the experience really fun. The game sells for around $18, and you'll see it go on sale from time to time. Not as often as other games might go on sale, so do add this game to your wishlist, as $18 for a 6-hour campaign, if you have no intention of replaying it, is a little steep. However, I really did enjoy this title, so if you do like your westerns, $18 might be worth it. It's an enthralling continuation of the Call of Juarez franchise, and keeps things fresh by its different storytelling from its previous titles, and I really hope that they do go and make a few more games. If you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, hit the like and sub button. Let me know what you think of Gunslinger and other western titles you might enjoy. I know Red Dead is an obvious mention for most people. This is Shawnee Reese from Hihu, thanks for watching.